Hey guys, Scott at Modeler X. How's it going? Thanks for tuning in today. We are just about done with our 1650 Klingon D7. We got the decals on, we've dull coated it. I've touched up some light leaks. We had some the window holes on the boom. A few of those needed to be re-drilled because some paint got in them. They're rather small, so we did that. And now we're putting the base together with the rest of the electronics. I drilled a hole right there and then mounted this push button switch. And now we're gonna take this is the wire that comes out of the mounting rod. And we're gonna run the positive side to one leg of this switch, and then we're going to hook the other one up to this is just one of those plugs that you can hook up a 9-volt wall wart power supply to. I actually have been harvesting these with every roll of LED tape that I get in. Just snip it off. Wish I'd left a little more leg on that one. It's kind of small, but we'll figure that out. And so my thought is we'll just let this. We'll see how sturdy it is. But my thought is to just either maybe hot glue it right there. I do want to make sure that we get enough room so that a plug from one of these wall warts will fit in here nicely. Maybe I'll just do something like that. But anyways, we'll get to that in just a second. Let's work on getting the positive side of this. And I did have about this much slack on this wire, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it rather than clip it short. So in case we ever need to take this off its mounting rod, we won't have to fiddle with really short stubby wires, and we can actually take it off of its base. And I don't know what we want to do, but if we ever need to, and it doesn't hurt anybody. Do need to hit the power supply on for the soldering iron, and then get some solder. Go there. Get a little other wire out just in case we need it. Now everything has resistors on it already up inside the ship, so we don't need to worry about a resistor. And for this, I'm just gonna cut this one about right there. And just take this, and this is the magnet wire. So I'm just going to take this and wrap it around this one side of the switch here. And then soldering iron is hot. Clean off the tip. And let's go to town soldering here. Get a little bit on the end. And let's hold it on the switch. Come at this a little different angle. Kind of got to let it sizzle off the insulation on the magnet wire, which I think that's probably good there. We're going to, right there they are, helping hands. We are going to strip off. I'm going to use the white side here for positive. So we'll just do that. It's now stripped. Oh, that got so loose. All right. then I'm going to, just so we have a little bit more length to work with, I'm going to take some of this wire wrapping wire and I'm going to wrap it just like the directions say. So I'm taking the wire wrapping wire and I'm wrapping it around this braided stuff that was in the plug. So that looks pretty good. Now let's go ahead and solder this. Good connection there. And we'll get a little heat shrink here. Cover that up. All right, and for this, usually it's just easy enough to hit it with a lighter, and this thing's about out. I need to get some more. That shrinks the this little coating on that so it's nice and solid, and you don't run the risk of touching wires anywhere. All right, then the other chore here is we got to attach to the black side the negative coming out of the ship. So we'll strip that. And let's see, let's take this one and we'll just do the same thing. This is a bit stiffer wire, but we should be okay. And see if we have enough room for our helping hands to help. All right, so we'll do the melting routine again. I think that is good. So let's cut off that and let her go. Okay, so I envision that kind of sitting there around in that region. Probably, I'm not sure. I don't want to tap the wires down or tack them down solid, but we'll figure something out there. So then the last chore here is let's attach this other wire to the other side of the switch. So the switch is in between the power, the positive power, so it can interrupt it and do its function. So let's cut about that much. And then I need to strip this. Then let's thread that through the switch hole. And so I just stuck the wire through the little hole on that lead and just kind of wrapping the rest of it around there. That looks pretty good. A little more revolution. Okay, and back to the soldering. And There we go. So let's plug in this guy. And this is just to test it. And then take our 9 volts from the power supply here, and outside goes to black, and then inside should touch that. And then turn the button on, and it is on. So we got a little problem here. I think that one's good, so I'm gonna, actually we can probably, let's see, let's test continuity. From the plug, middle. Yep. Alright, so let's see if it gets to there. And it gets to there. So let's make sure that that solder joint on the positive side is, it might not have eaten through that magnet wire well enough, so let's just really heat that up. Alright, see a little sizzling now, which is usually the clue that it got through that outside coating of the magnet wire. Let's go back to testing the lights. And voila, that was it. Our lights are now on, and the switch works. So let's worry about tacking this thing down. A little bit of lead left on that one. Let's cut that off. And I cut the whole thing off. Dang. Alright. So let's do this one over again. See if I got any hole left. Doesn't look like it, so let's heat that up. And we'll just wrap it around again. And we'll put a little more solder on it. All right, and just double check that this all still works. Sometimes those things happen. And no worky. What do we got? There it goes. Okay, lights are on, lights are off, all good. These little guys you can, I think, just get at your Radio Shack. I know there's electronic parts suppliers on the internet. You can probably get 12 of them for the price of 2 at your local Radio Shack. So I think for this, I'm just going to hot glue this so we can take the thing off if we need. I'll hot glue the plug, I think. That would be the best. Kind of like in that general region. Let's see if I can to leave it sitting up a little bit. So let me go find a little piece of sprue or something to prop that up before we hot glue it, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back, and we have the hot glue heated up, and I found a little piece of sprue. I think you can see that, just your average piece of sprue. Chopped it off a little bit of that. And so let's place this kind of right there so that the plug can lay on top of that and we have a better entry angle for the plug. And I'm gluing myself here. Hang on a second. Always that damn drip at the beginning. But okay, so let's put a little in here. Should do it. Nope, that's not gonna do it. Boy, I'm just awful with this stuff today. Alright, let's try that again. Actually, we kind of got it, but let's put a little bit more in there. All right. There's that. Move this plug around a little bit. Then we'll glue this part back here. All right. Hit that little joint a little bit more. Sort of secure the top. Secure the top to the switch itself. So let's do a close-up of this so you can see this a little bit better. You can see the styrene block where the wires come out and they wrap around to the left and hook on to the switch, which is up there. The red lead hooks up to the left and then it goes out on the right to the white wire of the plug, and sort of hot glued that whole thing into place there. In addition to that, you can see the piece of sprue underneath the plug, and that's hot glued as well. And then that's pretty much it. All right, so the final piece here is a hookup to the plug that's under the base, and I just had one of these little 9-volt connectors with 2 leads on it. I forget where I bought these, but any electronics parts store or online store should have those. So without the battery, you know, if you got a power supply with alligator clips, and oh boy, that's a tough one, you can just, you know, connect this up to power and get your 9 volts up to the model. That's what that looks like. And to put this together, I did get some 2-conductor, just basic, I think it's 24 gauge wire. So it's fairly thin. It's a little bit, I think the small magnet wire is 30. So anyways, I reeled off a good length of this, attached the, soldered up the plug on one end using white as the positive and black as the negative, and put the little cap back on. Then just split it at this end. Obviously, you have to strip the wire, and hooked these both up to this, and voila, we have a hookup. And I guess I made this long enough so this can go up inside the base, and then the wire extends back to the edge of the shelf or the table and will fall down, and you don't have to see the actual either battery or power supply. It can either dangle below or, you know, be in perhaps a control box. I probably want to make another one of these if I have a 9-volt actual wall wart. I think Jerry at HDA Model Works has them that have a pretty long cord, so you can reach from the plug all the way up to the model without having to extend that. That's a good way to start, because you can always cut the plug off the end of a wall wart and do this exercise of stripping it and putting in a longer piece of wire in there if you have a reach problem. But that's sort of the last step, and the next video will hopefully be the finale. So thanks for tuning in to Modeler X, and we will catch you next time.